What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the Box Office Dynasty podcast. I am Jack.
And I'm Josh.
How you doing today, buddy?
Oh, I'm feeling really good. We're filming a little early this week.
Yeah,
But
we're filming this on a Saturday. We usually hit up the Mondays these days, but
yeah.
I'm you can see the shithole mess behind me. I'm going on a vacation tomorrow, taking a nice little cruise to Bermuda. So I'll be on the open ocean this week, and that's me attempting to pack.
Can you imagine if you had filmed from the cruise? How funny that would be.
I'm on the deck, there's whales and dolphins and shit behind me.
Like a seagull just flies by, while we're doing the box office numbers or something.
That'd be.
Takes
Or I'm like
shit on your head or something.
I'm on the beach with drinking out of a coconut.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
That would be no. You would die.
Can you imagine if I died live on the podcast?
Can I imagine if you died?
No, not in general, live on the podcast, the timing of it.
Yeah, I can picture it. Yeah, I could just imagine your head just flops over on the mic, and I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, and then nobody's just unresponsive. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
perfect
crazy.
Reenactment. Well, anyway, this week it's gonna be a fun episode, kind of a chill episode. We're gonna pick a new Bible study number. You know, you guys commented random numbers. We're gonna pick one randomly and then announce what movie we're watching. We're gonna go over the box office numbers. It's gonna be a little different this week because we're filming on a different day. You're gonna review Weapons, the new horror movie that just came out. And we're going to talk a little bit about streaming, Hulu, Disney, all that good stuff. And at the end, if we have time, we're going to play a little game. We're probably going to play a little game. But we'll see. We'll see how the time goes. We always go over time. We can't fucking stop talking.
I mean, we do it every week. We're like, nah, this is the week. We're going to, I look back at our first couple episodes that were between an hour and an hour, 15. And I'm like, how did we do it? I think it's just because we got comfortable. So now
we had
we're
so
just
much to talk about, I'm sure, and we just didn't.
We just were tiptoeing around. I think back to those first couple ones, and now we're just dude, let's do this, let's do that, and then it's all right, well, we need to fill the time. But then we're oh, let's just yap on forever. You know,
there's no filling the time. The time's already filled these days.
Yeah, I mean, where does it go? It really does fly by. It's crazy. I mean, I love recording these episodes, and then you just realize, how quickly it goes by.
It's Can you believe it's episode 18 already?
Yeah, that is scary.
Remember when we were on episode 5 and we were like, oh, people don't make it to the 10th episode.
I remember when you texted me, let's do this, and here we are 18 episodes later. That is kind of crazy. The passage of time, folks, where does it go? We're already in August, soon it's going to be fall. I feel I don't know, the other day we kind of had a day that was a little chillier. And even though it's not quite the fall area, you just kind of know it's coming. And it's damn, it's already on the horizon.
Dude, are you getting earthquakes over there?
Yeah, what's that about? All right.
I forgot to talk to you about that. Holy shit.
That's actually a really good thing to bring up because I was sitting watching TV, just hanging out. I don't even remember what I was watching. It might have been a game or something. All of a sudden, I fucking started shaking. And I heard everything shaking. And it wasn't for very long. But I was like, what the fuck was that?
Dude,
and
New
then my
Jersey's
phone blew up.
It's a hotbed for earthquakes. And I swear to God, they're doing government experiments under Jersey.
The center of one of the earthquakes was not that far from me. Honestly,
dude,
really
I
wasn't.
swear it's
the
Stranger
epicenter.
Things, dude. They're doing government experiments, shaking the earth.
I'm telling you, I think there is a mind flayer living underneath New Jersey,
because New Jersey, of all places, for earthquake epicenters is actually insane.
Can you imagine if Stranger Things took place in New Jersey? How that would change the dynamic of that show? If
they'd all be
was in Jersey,
insufferable people.
Imagine, for everyone out there, and Jack, imagine this: what if the Jersey Shore cast, Snooki and
they're
Michael,
insufferable.
the situation,
That's part of it.
But imagine them dealing with the upside down. Imagine just those worlds colliding. What the fuck?
I think
how would that even change the dynamic?
They would win probably immediately. I think Vecna would be I don't want this fucking world.
Yeah, Vecna would be fuck this shit.
Yeah, I'm good where I am.
I'm not dealing with that. Yeah, the upside down is the right side up in that case.
Yeah, really.
Well, anyway, So we do have a great episode coming up. But before we get to the wonderful Bible study segment, I just wanted to shout something out real quick. So obviously I mentioned at the time on this podcast about my friend Chris, who unfortunately passed away a few months ago. Well, I wanted to give a shout out to something that his sister Lucy started, which is this cool I don't even know what to call it. It's just merchandise. It's on Instagram. It's called Colored by Chris G. And basically what she is doing is she's making shirts with his artwork on it. I'm wearing one right now, actually. I'm going to show it to you. So on the front, you kind of just like see it's a heart and like flowers and stuff like that. It's what he made. And then on the back, it's his handwriting. I'm going to get up for a second. So if you're on Spotify, sorry. But it says, be the best you can be. Here, hold on.
Let me see this bad, Larry.
I don't know if you can...
Bro, stop looking at the camera. Just face the other way. There you go. Fucking idiot. Be the best you can be, Chris. Y'all, that's beautiful.
I didn't know if, like, the lighting was going to be fucked up.
No,
so
we could see it.
I was looking back to make sure.
No,
all right, so... Anyway... There's an Instagram, like I said, and the point of all this is that the proceeds for the shirts goes to a charity called Spectrum 360, which is a 501k nonprofit leader in special education and adult services for people with autism and those with related challenges. And basically what they do is they help provide, like it says, educational services, resources, all the things that people who have autism and those different kinds of different things, you know, they can get all the resources and help that they can to, you know, achieve all the potential that they have as people, you know, because they can do a lot of great things. Chris was a great guy who was a hard worker and a great friend and, you know, left a lasting impact. And a great organization, a great nonprofit like Spectrum 360 can bring that kind of attention, can help people like Chris, you know, be the best people they can be, like he was, like it says on the shirt. And so if you're interested in donating and anyone, like I said, the Instagram is Colored by Chris G, and you can go there and you can get a shirt and you can donate. And this is a great thing that she's doing. So I wanted to shout it out because... and it's super comfortable. The shirt is honestly really comfortable.
Nice.
It's a great shirt.
We can put the link in the bios of the episode on YouTube and Spotify, so you guys can go to the bio, not the bio, the description of the episode, and click the link to be taken to see all the information and taken to the merch and everything like that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. We're definitely going to do that. So that way, you know, you'll be able to just go right from this episode to all the different links for Colored by Chris, and you can get whatever you want. And so it's a great thing, and it's great merchandise, and I highly recommend and hope everyone out there supports it because it's for a great cause, and that's important. We need people to care about each other right now. And I think this is a great way to honor Chris, and it's a great way to help just our fellow community.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know that was a thing. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to, you know what, I didn't even, like, it was a last second thing when we were going to film this, and I decided, like, actually this is a really great platform to kind of get that message out there and help promote it, because I think it's a really great thing that Lucy's doing for her brother, and I think Chris really deserves it, and I think, you know, Spectrum 360 is a great organization that deserves this attention, and that can be it's great resources because they're doing great things. And so, like, everything about it is just really awesome. And, you know, I loved Chris and we all did. And so, you know, if you want to support it, I think that's great. So I just wanted to put it out there on the podcast.
Yeah.
Get it out there. But you know, that's Colored by Chris. And now we're going to move on and we're going to pick a Bible study number.
Yeah.
Or a new Bible study film.
So you guys know this, but I'm just going to say it again.
I say it every time. It's be like 2
I love my
years
clips.
into the
I
show.
love my clips because you're gonna have to clip this, buddy. We have a segment called Bible Study, and basically what we do is we look at this book of essential 1,000 films to see from the New York Times Book of Movies. And you guys comment on all our social media, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, whatever. Just comment a random number. And that number coincides to a movie deemed essential by the New York Times. We pick a random number and we watch that movie and review it. So now we have a lot of numbers because you guys have been commenting and we love it. We've already watched 5 movies.
Thank you.
And I'm going to randomly pick the movie right now. So I got the wheel of numbers.
I just want to say something real quick about this segment. This is my favorite part of the segment. I'm like giddy.
Me too.
I'm like a kid on Christmas morning finding the number and then seeing which one we're going to watch. Like, I'm so excited.
Because some of these movies are things I've never heard of, and some are I do know and I want to watch or I have seen.
It really is like a mixed bag of like you don't know what you're going to get.
Here we go. The number we are watching is...
Escalators.
368. Let me know when you're there. Are you there? I'm not there yet.
I'm there.
Oh, I'm here. You want to announce?
You do it. It's your week.
368. We are watching a movie called Fat City. Fat City. From 1972. I've never heard of Fat City. What the fuck is this?
I haven't either, but I pulled it up. So it's basically directed by John Huston, who is famously known for directing The Maltese Falcon. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's an older film, but it's a classic. Okay. He also directed a version of Annie in 1982. Maybe that at least.
Okay. Well, he directed Fat City.
Anyway, it's 2 men working as professional boxers come to blows when their careers each begin to take opposite momentum. Starring Stacy Keach and Jeff Bridges.
Oh, I know him.
Stacy Keach is in Prison Break. He's the warden.
Oh, I do know Stacy Keach.
And obviously,
I like him a
Jeff
lot.
Bridges.
I like both
so that sounds really interesting. Cool. All right. I'm very excited for this one. Let's go.
368. So yeah,
thank you.
You guys comment more numbers, and we'll be picking more numbers in the near future.
And in 2 episodes, we will be reviewing Fat City.
Yes, we will. All right, cool. We're moving on.
I love that. All right, so as I mentioned during our intro at the beginning of this episode, we are recording this earlier than we usually do. We're recording it on Saturday instead of Monday because of Jack's very exciting vacation, which I am jealous of. So there's not much I can say. But we don't have the entire box office numbers for this current weekend, which is the weekend of August 8th to the 10th. So I was like, well, I don't want to scrap the box office numbers altogether. So I am going to give a set of box office numbers.
Okay.
And ooh, I should have done this differently. You know what? And I am going to do it. You know what? I think let's have some fun with this. I just thought of this now. Literally right now. I was just all right. Okay. Originally, I was going to give the box office numbers for the weekend of my birthday weekend. I was looking at yours, but your birthday didn't fall on a weekend, I guess.
Yeah, so my birthday I feel like is always like a fucking Tuesday.
The year you were born. So mine was a Friday, but instead, I think what would be fun is to actually pick a weekend and see if you can guess the year that this weekend of box office numbers is from based on the movies. And I'll make sure it's
easy.
I'll make sure it's something
I'm like actually kind of goated with movie years.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see how you fare, I suppose.
I feel like I know when most movies came out or within a year of within 2 years of it.
Wait. Hold on. Just
Okay.
Okay. All right. That might be too easy for you, but you know what? We'll do it. I have it up, and I don't want to dilly-dally too long, so we'll just do it. This These are box office numbers for the redacted. In fifth place, in its it actually does not say how many weeks of release for any of these but one. Wow, that's weird. Okay, well, in its whatever weekend of release, making $4 million is the film Needful Things. Needful Things.
Fucking.
In fourth place, in its 13th weekend of release.
Holy shit.
Okay. Making $4 million, Jurassic Park.
Okay. All right. 13.
In third place, in its whatever weekend of release, Hard Target. In second place, in its whatever weekend of release, making $5.4 million. I didn't say that. Hard Target, by the way, made 4.4. The Man Without a Face. And in first place, and I am going to assume either its opening weekend or maybe second weekend, making a little over $17 million, is The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford.
Okay, this is interesting. First of all, Jurassic Park in 13 weeks being top 4 is crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm pretty sure Jurassic Park came out in 1993. But when in 1993 is the question, because this is over 3 months of being released. So did Jurassic Park come out in October, and then this would technically be 1994 box office numbers? I'm going to assume Jurassic Park had like an April release date. Well, because the Jurassic Park movies now come out like April, May. So I'm going to assume they kind of keep it the same. I'm going to say this is the year of 1993. I don't even know what the fuck the other movies are besides The Fugitive. So I'm going 1993.
It is 1993.
Goated, dude.
Are you going to try and guess, do you want to try and take a stab at like the month or something, or like
when Jurassic Park came out?
When this weekend is, based on when you think Jurassic Park came out.
Okay. You have the dates.
Yes, I have the exact dates that this weekend is.
This is going to be the weekend. I'm going to say the second week of August.
You're not that far off, actually.
Oh, shit. Okay, what is it?
It's Labor Day weekend in 1993, September 3rd to the 6th.
I'm 2 weeks off.
Jurassic Park originally came out June 11th, 1993 in the United States.
I was guessing May, so then I went 3 months later.
So you weren't that far off, honestly. It was a pretty, actually solid guess. All things
I'm
considered.
with the dates, man.
When I saw Jurassic Park, because I was like, I wish I didn't think of that on the spot, but then I was like, you know what, this is fun. Let's do this. And then the first one I pulled up, I saw Jurassic Park. I was like, is this going to be too easy? And I was like, well, I don't want to waste time, so fuck it. We're doing it.
The 13-month thing could have thrown me off,
Yeah. Well, 13 week, not 13 month. Holy shit.
13 week.
But still, that you're right. It could have been like it came out in the fall, and 13 weeks later makes it 1994.
Yeah,
so
right.
But nope, it was June into September. So
that was fun.
That's the box office.
Another segment we have.
Hey, you know what? If you liked that, tell us, and we can incorporate that as like a weird like sub box office segment in the future. We are the box office dynasty, so we can do more things related to box office numbers.
Box office games.
Box office games. Hey, sounds like cool math games, but for box office, I'm down.
Sounds like addicting games for the box office.
Shout out Cool Math Games. I do not graduate the public education system without Cool Math Games.
No, dude. I didn't play a single math game on there, by the way.
No, I played like Run 2.
Run 2? You have Block Swords?
Yeah.
We have the big block that tilts over.
Yeah.
There's some good shit on there.
Anyway, those are your box office numbers from Labor Day weekend of 1993.
Right.
You know what? We'll update you on the box office numbers from this past weekend, or at least what will very likely finish number one this past weekend, which is the film we're now going to talk about, Weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, I would love for you to see this at some point, because this was the hit film of the weekend. We are going to, and by we I mean me, I am going to give my rating first and a review, and non-spoiler first, and then slight spoilers just, you know, as much as I need. I'm not going to give heavy spoilers. We're not going to talk about the ending and stuff because, Jack, you haven't seen it. But maybe just slight little things that help me, you know, get my point across about this film.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right. So I'm going to start off with my rating, which is I give this film like 9.5 Aunt Gladyses out of 10.
Damn. All right, that's big
maybe
praise.
Like 9.3 to 9 point, like, but it's in that area. And fucking cinema, man. This was great. Zach Krieger, this guy, he is like a good, like, new emerging voice in the horror genre and in film in general. This is very exciting to me because did you ever see Barbarian? I know you're not a horror guy, but I'm not sure if you ever saw it.
I saw clips. She's like butt ass naked, and some lady gets thrown off a tower and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I mean, that was a great first film. You know, that was his rookie go around. This to me is a really exceptional step up in a sophomore outing.
Okay.
Because this film was a really good horror film, and it's getting that praise. First of all, I'll start off by saying this. The praise it's getting is really, like, it's not Sinners level, but it's the highest this year since then. And they are both the two highest, like, original films, or two of the highest original, like, openings for films of the decade and things like that. And you know, I like Sinners more. I didn't think this was a Sinners level movie. That's a really, really difficult bar.
Yeah.
But what Zach Krieger's doing here is very interesting. So
I heard he took some stuff from The Shining, and he like was really inspired by The Shining at some point.
For sure. You know, this was actually really inspired by Magnolia, actually, in terms of its structure. So what I will talk about is what this movie's structure is. It's told in chapters, and those chapters are split based on the different characters. There's like 6 of them that they go into in the film. It starts off with Justine, which is Julia Garner's character. She's the teacher. So basically, before I go further, let me explain what this movie's about. I don't know how much you even know, but just for everyone out there as well, what this film is about is one day in a random, like, just suburban town, one classroom of elementary students just runs away in the night at like 2:17 a.m. They get up out of their beds and run out of the houses into the dark, and they never come back. And all of them and Miss Gandy's class, that's Julia Garner's character, except for one kid. So the next day they come to class, all but one kid showed up to class. So obviously there's
fucking nerd.
Yeah, right.
He's the only one who goes to school.
Like, bro, that's the guy he's the type of kid who, when class is about to be over and the teacher forgot to check homework, would say, "But what about the homework, Miss Gandy?"
Yeah, you forgot the
Alex,
homework.
you fucking piece of shit, you cuck. Anyway, kids are probably not calling each other cucks in elementary school. But basically they shut down the school. There's like a whole investigation, and we don't see this play out like in order like this. Like, there's a beginning introduction where we learn the basis of what happened in this town, and then it's just we get the 6 chapters of the 6 different characters and their perspectives, and we get different pieces of the stories that all come together by the final chapter. And that's what makes it such a unique approach at telling this story, which, by the way, you know, I'm going to get right into it. This is a film called Weapons, about a classroom of students who disappear in the middle of the night, and the film is really focused on suburban paranoia and the way that they deal with grief in the fallout of loss, like this sudden loss. And this is not the first kind of film that we have gotten recently that is really portraying this very recent, like, hard right kind of colder society that we now live in, that's very nostalgia kind of, it like retreats into nostalgia for comfort and it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it really. Just like more right wing, like just traditionally conservative values. That's not even a political statement at this point. That's generally the current state of society. It's a generally more traditional kind of approach. And I think we look in the media and we see like these different, and by the way, when I say it's not the only one in recent years, there's films like Eddington, which is very much about similarly how children are kind of left behind in this system that like props up this care but is very unfocused on it, you know, for its own other needs, and it's using it as more of a shield. And I think Weapons is kind of in that same like vein of like, you know, where are the children? Like, what, you know, what are we doing here? Like this fear that is cultivating in these communities. And
are there any weapons in this movie?
Well, not in the way you think. Again, it is a horror film. First of all, one of the like scenes that I thought stood out the most was, so Josh Brolin's character, Archer, he is the father of one of the sons who goes missing. And he has a nightmare one night. He sleeps in his son's bed. They show that, you know. And this movie really does handle the emotional side of things well. But this, you know, they show him sleeping in his son's bed, and he's missing him, and he's having this nightmare where he wakes up and he sees his son, and he tries and follows him, and he's like, it's the same way that the son ran out into the night, like, because he saw footage of it in his like Ring camera or whatever, and they showed a montage of the kids running out. It's actually creepy as fuck, dude. Like, it really is like really creepy in the dark like that. Because they look possessed. I mean, it's funny because they're doing like a Naruto kind of anime run thing. But,
they're running with their arms behind
it is like with the context pretty creepy. And so he sees him run out in the nightmare, and he goes and he chases him to the woods. But then like he goes into the woods and he comes back out and it's his house again. Like it's all trippy and shit. And
dude, is this a paranormal movie?
No, but
good, because I fucking don't like those movies.
It's not a paranormal movie, which some people are complaining, but even more people are praising about, because it's a much more hardline, like truthful approach while still being horrific. And do you remember
Longlegs?
Yeah, well,
like I liked Longlegs because I was like, oh shit, the serial killer is like out there and he's like stalking this girl, and like, oh my god, this is cool. And he's like in the basement. Oh, that's sick. And then it's like, oh no, he like makes you get possessed by a demon so you kill yourself. I was like, that's fucking dumb. I was like, I don't like the demon paranormal shit.
Yeah.
That's me. I know people like that.
I mean,
don't like
I like
stuff.
it, but I would not say that this movie is really paranormal. There is definitely, it's not just straight up like someone came into the classroom and actually shot kids or anything like that. But like, it is a horror movie. It does take, you know, like a horror-ish more approach at, you know, visualizing the story with its antagonist. Like, I'm trying to tell it without spoiling it, telling you the twist. I know. So, you know, but that's essentially what it is. Like, I wouldn't say it's fully like Longlegs with the paranormal. Like, I wouldn't say it's that far to that side of it either. But cool. There, to finish off the nightmare sequence, when he runs back towards the house, he sees like a gun, like a giant rifle, like appear over his house, and by like the barrel of it, it's a clock that says 2:17. And I thought, because that was the time the kids all ran out at the same time, and I just thought that was like a really like visceral image in the film. You know, like
it's in your face.
There are people online trying to say this movie's about nothing. And I say that one scene alone, how can you say this movie's about nothing?
In denial.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy. You can say you don't like where it goes, but to say the movie's about nothing or has no point, or, you know, is absurd to me, because that one scene alone, I think, is very telling about what Weapons is about.
There's a difference between this movie goes nowhere versus this movie has no purpose.
Yeah. And I think...
And no message.
I think that this movie definitely has a lot that it's saying and portraying with this story. And it's very, you know, I think personal, because when I think of Zach Krieger, he has roots in comedy. which is ironic because this film actually is kind of really funny. I'm not even joking.
Okay.
I know how it sounds, but I'm not even joking. Like, it actually, like, the way it's written, it has a lot of like really just like comedic upside at times to it, like just in moments.
You were telling me that you thought it was hilarious when the dad was crying because his son was missing, and you were laughing when his life was ruined because all the children were gone. You said that was so funny, right?
Yeah, that nightmare sequence I thought was actually like a dream come true. Personally,
you were cackling in theaters.
No, but I really thought that like there were moments where the film was unironically funny, like just in the way it was, like not at the expense of children or anything like that, but just the like way it presented certain moments. But it was also really creepy and scary and off-putting. It had a couple jump scares, but it wasn't really about like true horror in your face. This is still more that like tension and suspense based horror and real like plot based, narrative based horror instead of just like the 2000s jump scary kind of horror. And that's what I think Barbarian was kind of like a look at for him, and I think he really steps it up in this one. Like this really was such a well-rounded film that was such an interesting theatrical experience, a fun theatrical experience in ways, because you're just like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? You know, and you do fear for characters, and the acting is great. Julia Garner, one of the most underrated actors in the industry today, in my opinion. One of the most underappreciated for sure. Like, I always think she's a standout in what she does. You think of Ozark, obviously she's great in Fantastic Four, and then this. And it's really funny because I don't know if you know that Pedro Pascal was also like originally supposed to be in this movie, and then he ended up not being able to, and he got recast. It was Josh Brolin. Like, how funny would it have been?
Really? I didn't know that.
How funny would it have been if with Fantastic Four out at the same time, like the dichotomy, because of especially like his character Archer in the movie blames the teacher. He's like, I want to know what's going on in that classroom. Why only that classroom? You know, like that's his whole thing. Like, what happened? I want to hear from her. So that relationship, like, just imagining if that was Pedro Pascal also like with the Fantastic Four, like Reed Richards, Silver Surfer, like at the same time, would have been so funny.
Does he think she did it? Like she took the kids or something?
Well, I wouldn't say he thinks that she did it, but he makes it clear he thinks she knows something that she's not saying.
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
Whether she does or not, you know, I don't know that I'm going to say on this podcast, because, you know, we're not necessarily going to talk. You got to see it when you get back from your cruise.
I'm going to see this movie eventually. Like, this is something that I'm going to see. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters.
You should.
I'll probably see it in theaters when I get back.
Part of it is that it did make for a fun theatrical experience.
I'll be back in a week, so I'll be able to see it.
I just remember, like, the whole audience was like, oh, shit, like, to everything, like, is, like, this and that. Like, I don't know. Cool. It was just, it was really cool. And you know what? As fun as that Pedro and Julia Garner thing would be, like, to the cast point, like, Josh Brolin was great in this, too. I really enjoyed this.
Oh, is this?
And your boy Alden Ehrenreich was in it too. Ehrenreich, the Han Solo.
Young Han Solo.
Han Solo, Oppenheimer.
He was just an Ironheart. Loved him.
Oh yeah. You know what? Yeah. There's a lot of MCU actors in this actually, because you have.
I mean, that's 3 right
and
there.
And then Benedict Wong. That's 4 in this movie. So
it's probably more, honestly. It's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's like the 6 degrees of the MCU.
Yeah,
like someone's in an MCU movie.
Yeah, it's so rare, I think, to find a film where there isn't a member of the cast in an MCU movie, but even harder to find one where there isn't a member of the cast who's been in at least one superhero movie.
Yeah, that's like impossible.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't happen.
Especially if it came out after like 2005 or something like that.
Yeah. No.
Like in the last 20 years, impossible.
But I really liked that Weapons, you know, kind of, it asked these very honest questions about, like, you know, can parents trust to send their kids to school in the morning? And can, like, how can teachers really protect kids? And should parents, like, have that, put that responsibility on them? And, like, where does it go? And, like, it does really promote the importance of teachers in our lives, like the role of the teacher in our lives and for our development growing up. I'm sure you remember having that, like, teacher that probably really stood out to you in, like, either middle school, high school, whatever. So
They're really responsible for your formative years.
Yeah, and they really do care about you. Like, I think the relationship formed between a teacher and a student. Like, I went to go see this movie with my friend Matt. Shout out Matt. And like, he's a teacher too, and I'm sure he can totally attest for like the relationship that gets formed between a student and a teacher. You spend so much time together during the school year. And like, when you consider parents going to work and then sleeping, almost sometimes kids spend more time with teachers during the school year than with their own parents, like depending on their like situation. Yeah. Just because of like how much time you go to school, 7-8 hours a day, whatever. So
100%.
I just, this movie really like shows that through Julia Garner's character. And I cannot rave it more. It's grimly shot. It sets the tone very well. I thought in every way it was a step up in terms of where it falls in comparison to some other films this year for me. It's right around. So number one is Sinners, which, by the way, I think that the fact that two of my favorite movies of the year and two of just the most successful movies of the year so far in terms of like their openings, and I'm sure Weapons is going to have a great run here throughout August. I think that the fact that like two horror films are the ones that can promote original storytelling these days, that's the genre that we're really getting the most creative original storytelling. I just think that it's really cool. So anyway, this falls around like 2, 3, 4. They're all interchangeable.
Well, that's a huge difference.
No, they're interchangeable. I've seen like 30 or 31 movies that have come out this year, and to me, number one is Sinners, and then in that 2, 3, 4 spot, it would be like Weapons, F1, Superman. But it really.
But where did you put it? I had to put it somewhere.
I put it 2 on Letterboxd.
Okay.
But it really is like such a toss-up between those three compared to then maybe some of the movies that come after on my list. At that point, it's just preference of I really like horror films, and I really like Zach Krieger and what he's doing. Did you know Jordan Peele like was one of the people pitching to back this movie, and when he lost out on it, he fired his management team because it's that like he thought it was that like innovative of a film.
No, I didn't know that at all.
And ended up being Warner Bros, I believe. And so, yeah, he ended up losing out on it, and his management team lost their jobs. Like, that's the standard that this film is setting. And I loved it. Is it, like, the scariest thing in the world? No, not in that regard, where you're, like, literally jumping in your seat. Right. But horror does not always equal scary. It's not the same thing. And this is horrific, and the circumstances are certainly terrifying, and the way it's built up is really cool. And I think when you think of other like upcoming voices like a Jordan Peele, or I mean, I guess he's pretty established at this point, but like just, there's a lot of interesting horror filmmakers out there now, and I think this is another name in that bag. And I love this film, and I would love to see more from Zach Krieger, because I think he's got a really exciting future as a filmmaker. And what's interesting is, I don't know, like, speaking of him, like, he wants to do something for DC.
I think studios like DC and like Marvel and stuff like that, like companies like that, they need to dig into horror. And I know we're getting a Clayface horror movie, but let Zach Krieger, do some horror stuff in DC.
I know what he wants to do, actually. He said what he wants to do.
Swamp Thing.
No.
Is it something announced?
It's not like something that's announced. He hasn't pitched it to DC yet, but it's what he wants to do.
Just let me get a guess. Is it horror? Or could it be?
It could be, but I wouldn't say it's totally.
I'm gonna guess Dracula.
No.
Oh wait, I think Marvel owned Dracula as a comic book character. I don't fucking know. What is it?
It's called Henchmen.
Oh, I would never have got that. What is that?
It follows a low-level henchman in Gotham who gains notoriety by incapacitating Batman through a stroke of luck. And it's Harley Quinn and Joker would have roles in the story. as well. That's all we know so far, and it hasn't been pitched to DC yet.
I don't love that.
Why? I know why, because you don't like that Batman would get incapacitated by a henchman. But I like the idea that it happens through a stroke of luck. Like he doesn't beat Batman. Batman just somehow gets in a bad spot and this guy gets lucky. He probably wouldn't win in the end.
Yeah, maybe when we have like established Batman, it'd make more sense. I guess now since we don't have a Batman, I'm like, are we gonna make Batman look like a pussy already? But I guess once he's cool and established, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but I feel like this would be kind of a cool way to establish him before you actually give him his first movie, almost like show him get beaten down. And like, what if the henchman loses? Like, think of Infinity War, where like the bad guy kind of wins. Like in this situation, obviously Batman's not a bad guy, but he's the antagonist of the story.
Yeah, like he's gonna be the antagonist of Clayface.
Right. So like, have him win in the end. Like, yeah, we see him get beat down, so at first like we get this image, because then imagine the audience over the years, if you really establish Batman, like we start off with this journey of him, like we start off with Batman at a low point, like he's literally not even in his own movie, he's in a henchman movie, like getting his ass kicked, and he fights his way out, and he like really establishes himself that way, and then in his own movie we learn more about him, and he starts really like showing himself. I think it could be an interesting way to do it differently that doesn't ruin the character's true origin, just showing him in a different light.
It could be cool. I can't think of any way that I'd prefer it, but I get what you're saying.
I don't know,
because like what happens? Batman gets knocked out, and then like the guy just leaves.
I don't know. It would really come down to just like I don't know, just what they have him on. I don't know. Yeah. Could be anything. It's Gotham, right? Like, so
yeah, we'll have to see.
I don't know, but this guy is great, and I'm interested in anything he does, because this Weapons was like this Magnolia-esque kind of really cool film, and I loved it. And I thought it was sad, and it was funny, and it was scary, and it was touching. It was I think it's one of the most compelling entries of the new year in terms of films. And it's the kind of stuff that people should be supporting. And Sinners got a lot of support, and Sinners is better, but people need to go out and support Weapons, because it's still one of the best of the year, I think.
I'll have to see it.
So that's Weapons.
Yeah, cool. You had something else you wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
that I don't really know much about. So you're all in on this.
Well, okay. So we got news recently that obviously we all know at one point a couple years ago Disney bought out Comcast and everybody else to own the full piece of the pie for Hulu. So they had full control of Hulu, and they integrated it into Disney Plus. But it was also its standalone app. Well, Disney announced that in 2026, Hulu is going to fully integrate into the Disney Plus app, and the Hulu app will cease operation. So I think that this is quite the sign. Like it's. I don't think this is just random news to brush off. I think this is a very telling sign of the direction of streaming and the consolidation that it's about to face.
I never even understood why, if everything on Hulu was on Disney Plus, why Hulu even existed after that. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know if they, like, the thing is I can't speak to it. Maybe someone out there can, but I continued and still do continue to use Hulu as a separate app.
I did too, but sometimes when I go on my Hulu and I'm logged out and I don't feel like logging in, I'd go and watch like Always Sunny on Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, it just feels weird to me. I don't know.
It does. But it's just strange that everything on there was like, that's
what I'm saying. Is everything on there? Like, I wasn't sure. I thought when they first added it, some stuff wasn't on there. I think that's why.
The Bear is.
Yeah, but I don't think they had everything. That's why.
Which is crazy, because now does this make Hulu originals Disney originals, or are they Hulu originals?
Well, I think they're going to be like Hulu. It's the same like Pixar stuff is still just Pixar stuff on Disney. Like, I think it's going to be a Hulu original that comes out on like, because think about it, The Bear isn't even really a Hulu original. It's an FX show. and they just do it on Hulu. So it's still going to just be an FX. And then the Hulu originals, like Only Murders in the Building is an example of a Hulu original.
Right.
That will probably continue to just be a Hulu original that airs on Disney Plus. Same with The Bear, FX, that is just on Disney Plus. But like, I think there is this honest conversation, like, why did streaming services start in the first place, right? When people had cable, it was because they wanted to be able to like see anything that they wanted to see without all the commercials and at any time. Like when you think about cable, it was like you had to flip through the channels, you couldn't pick what you watched, it was whatever was on the network at the time. And like then Netflix came along and that changed the game, right? And like
it's so ironic because now there are ads on pretty much everything, and you can go to a show or a movie that used to be on HBO Max and now it's not. You go to a movie that used to be on Hulu and now it's not, because all the shit's just constantly changing anyway. So it's like you watched it to have full access with no commercials, and now you don't have full access and there are commercials.
Right. And then because then everyone saw how like great it was, they wanted to get like a piece of the pie. So now you got Netflix, you got Hulu, you got HBO Max, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, Peacock, Tubi, Fubo, Roku TV, fucking Pornhub. Roku like City. I mean, like you have so much fucking shit. And dude, imagine if they came out with a Pornhub Plus. That would just be the fucking like
watch on your TV.
Like fucking a Pornhub streaming service would actually be the end of it.
People would probably pay for that.
Dude, I mean
100% they would pay for that.
Are you kidding me? The gooners out there would be all over it, but that would be where society truly crumbles.
Yeah, really, the end of society.
But it just became too much where like you have to pay for all these things, and then because like the way it played out is so crazy. It was like a domino effect. All these people rushed to these services. They wanted to get better quality, so they had higher production budgets. Then they realized it wasn't profitable because they were spending hundreds of millions on television shows and movies. And so they started raising the prices. So now everybody's paying like $25, $30, however, this or that. If you want ad free, it's got to be more. And you want this, you got to crack down on password sharing. Exhausting, And so I just feel like now we're seeing them realize we can't keep up with this. This isn't really profitable. I did see that like some of these streaming services, according to the Hollywood Reporter, are starting to turn a green because they're starting to come down on those production costs again. But in general, I think you're going to see a lot of merging, a lot of consolidation. You saw Warner Bros. And Discovery come into one. That's why HBO did that whole Max thing and stuff.
I think so. Okay, let me ask you this. If you see, like, if at the end of all this, there's only 3 streaming services left because these companies own all the rest of them, what 3 do you think there are? Because I have 3 in my head that come immediately to my head.
I mean, all right. This is actually going to be crazy, but I have my 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Apple, Amazon, Disney.
Whoa. Okay, I had Netflix, Amazon, Disney.
Netflix. Here's the thing. I think Netflix would be free of this. Here's my reason. Apple and Amazon are different from every streaming service for one reason. Why is that? Because their studios are the only ones, or their like parent companies are the only ones whose primary source of revenue for their company isn't based in entertainment. For Apple, It's technology. For Amazon, it's obviously Amazon. It's production. It's selling. So the streaming service to them, anything it loses, anything it gains, it's just a sliver. These companies can afford to eat up the rest of the game.
That's true. And Netflix is all streaming.
But like, I think Netflix is exempt from this in a sense because it's the OG. I feel like it would be very difficult with the brand of Netflix to eat up.
And it's the only one without commercials too.
Yeah, it would probably be last if that ever happened. But the reason Disney's third is just because the Disney company is the monopoly here. I don't see that going anywhere. But the reason it's difficult to say is because like it's not that studios are necessarily going to keep buying. Like I don't know. I mean, like obviously Comcast isn't going anywhere, but is Peacock just going to get folded into something if it's not really worth it for them? Maybe.
That's what I think. I literally thought like Peacock is going to be out someday.
But it's not like
HBO Max
Comcast
could get bought
is going
out
anywhere.
because HBO Max is owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, but Warner Brothers would have to like. I mean, they're not as in dire of a financial situation as they were like 6 months ago per se.
Right.
But still, like, even though they're one of the original studios, like them, Columbia, Paramount, blah 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 blah, still like, if they can't make enough money on there, like I saw what they wanted to turn. I was like 1 to 2 original based movies a year, 1 to 2 DC, 1 to 2 like other franchise, 1 to 2 something else.
Yeah, they have their slate.
So they have a slate plan for the next 5, 10, whatever years. But if obviously like Superman, we talked about this a little bit last week, like Superman is successful, but obviously maybe not to the same height as some of the other DC films, and obviously in an era where it's so expensive to go out to the movie theaters and people just don't go out as often as they did before the pandemic. I wonder if these movies just can't, if it's just not possible for them to reach those same box office heights. Is that going to eventually become super problematic for those studios that are solely based on entertainment like Warner Bros? So it can be a problem. I mean, Disney I think is a little different because they're not going to have any financial issues because they also have they have their parks and everything.
Yeah, and Amazon's fine.
Yeah,
like those two big, like Apple, they're fine. Yeah, I'm with you. I think we're going in a clear direction. When the smaller ones are struggling, like Hulu, and I think Peacock is going to be having some problems. Maybe not Paramount anytime soon, but I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, so the Hollywood Reporter came out with the streaming numbers and the differences from 2023 to 2024. Like, obviously we don't have 2025 yet. And for reference, again, no Apple and Amazon here because they don't report their numbers. They run their own kind of ship over there. Netflix still is leading the pack by far, which is why they're probably never going to have to worry about getting folded up. Although with Stranger Things ending, Squid Game ending, they got to find another flagship show soon. For sure.
Yeah, that's true.
But in 2023, they had like 260 plus million subscribers. And in 2024, they were up to 301.6 million. So that's by far, I mean, the next closest last year is Disney. Disney Plus had 178.2 million. I mean, so Netflix is still by far leading the pack. Warner Bros. With its HBO Max is 116.9. Paramount's only 77.5 million. Peacock 36 million. Like, they're low numbers.
I have all that shit too.
I have Paramount for the month actually, but I don't normally have it. So I think it's just interesting because you also see like the impact that the new streaming model has on the way television is made. Like you look at shows come out. I'm actually going to spoil one of my Seesaw for today.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, well, just half of it, just because it's really relevant right now. Something I want to see soon, a little early here, is the season 2 of Wednesday. And this is really relevant to this conversation because you look at how when it was cable and network TV was the one that was I mean, obviously cable network still makes television, but like, that's for grandma and grandpa. Like really what we're watching, what everybody's really watching, is on streaming these days. And but like back then it was network, like Friends and Seinfeld and all the popular shows were on network cable, and they were coming out with 22 episodes, and it was like every year, and they were coming back. It's not just the sitcoms. Criminal Minds was doing it pretty often. Their cast was a revolving door of people at Criminal Minds for different offset reasons, but they were coming out with different episodes and like 16 to 20 a year. So now with Wednesday, it's been 3 years in between seasons, and they're coming out with 8 episodes. And you look like, I don't know if you saw the promotion. I don't even know if you've seen the show, but if you've seen at least the promotion where the actor plays Wednesday's little brother Pugsley, if you see him in season 1, it's the fucking Addams Family, bro. If you
Stupid
see him
name,
dude, the third child in the movies from the 90s, I don't know.
Oh, I know.
Pubert.
I know Pubert.
From the Addams Family Values.
Yeah. Well, what, the kid's all grown up?
Yeah,
in the
he's like
season?
double Jenna Ortega's size. It's just insane.
Bro, look at like Stranger Things. Look at like fucking anything with these kids. Like Netflix, these streaming services just take forever for 8 episodes, 10 episodes. At least Stranger Things is like 2-hour-long episodes. Like Invincible season 2 took us like 2 years to get,
and I get,
and it looked shitty too.
I mean, I get that there was the pandemic, then there were strikes. I get it, but it's not, you can't say that when it's happening with every single or almost every single streaming service, and it's happening like, you know, all over. And you know what's funny? You know what's one example of a show that's actually pretty good at this, you know, coming out every year and having a lot of episodes? Abbott Elementary.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say The Bear.
Well, The Bear has 10 episodes a season. I mean, you know what?
10 episodes, but
they do come out every year. And I will give The Bear that. They are coming out with it like every year, and that's not happening. And hey, both of those shows, what streaming service are they on? Hulu.
Hulu, baby.
And where's Hulu going? Bye-bye.
Yeah, Always Sunny.
Disney.
Always Sunny.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting to see, like, I just feel like the streaming model has altered the way they go about it's less episodes, higher production value, higher costs, you know, make it look more cinematic, make it grander, make it larger, make it bigger than life. It's going to be like you watch every episode of every show has to look like you're watching a movie. There used to be a time where you could tell the difference in quality between movie and television. And I'm not sitting here advocating that television needs to be like shitty quality, but I'm just saying there was an art form to television that has since kind of devolved into just being like movies in a slightly altered format.
Sometimes there's a charm to it.
I mean, we've gotten in a lot of incredible content, you know, like, don't get me wrong, but that's the thing. Even that word right there, streaming has turned movies from art into content, because also
just churn it out.
Yeah, like the last, like, in my opinion, great point about this is the loss of physical media. First of all, I miss Blockbuster. I think a lot of people out there listening to this can attest. If you remember the days of after like school, maybe on a Friday, your parents taking you to Blockbuster and renting a couple movies to watch, and you got to go and run up and down the aisles and find what you wanted to watch. Like, those are some of the fondest memories.
Did you ever use a Redbox?
Yeah, I remember the red boxes.
I remember Redbox, like a vending machine for movies.
Yeah, dude, like those were great.
We used to get Netflix in the mail. It would be the disc in a little CD slot. Like,
it's crazy. That's how Netflix started in 2007 to 2009. It was just like it was mail by DVDs.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I think we did that a couple times. You get in the mail, you pop it in, and then you send it back. Like, send
it back the next day.
Imagine like middle schoolers today trying to even fathom that, or like even
they get their movies in the mail,
getting your movie in the mail
weeks after you order it.
Yeah, not just having it not having a movie come out and have it be all over your phone in like seconds before you can even see it. It's just a different world, and I really think the streaming model, like from even like with movies, obviously has like an impact to this, but like especially in television, like I think it's really changed the approach. And again, like, yes, we've gotten a lot of great stuff, obviously, you know, a lot of new shows that come out that take that more cinematic approach are really great. Like, I mean, I sit here and talk about Severance, that's like one of them, obviously, but or Succession, one of my favorite shows. The first week we did this, you asked me my favorite shows, that's one of them. That's another one that took this approach. But still, ultimately, you can have those, yes, but there's not enough of those shows that come out just yearly, maybe slightly less quality, that kind of, like you said before, that charm to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that charm. No, I totally agree with everything.
Yeah.
I do miss the physical media, and it is easy now, but there's just that feeling that you just don't get anymore.
So do you think, before we wrap this part of the episode up, like, do you think in 5 years, you ask me like the ones that I think I could see left, do you see streaming kind of disintegrating as the popular option to watch entertainment? And if so, can you possibly conceive of what might be the next like step forward for viewing, like for people to take in content?
I don't know. I don't know what would replace it. I mean,
like glasses that put it like right into your fucking brain kind of shit.
Yeah, but even then, I think that would still be owned by like Amazon or Disney. Like, I think that would still be streaming just to your fucking brain, dude. Like I do think that we're gonna see like the dissolution of streaming services, but they're gonna monopolize, and I do think like Disney's already starting to do that, and we're gonna end up with a couple left. But I don't think anything's going to replace them. What can replace Disney Plus? What can replace Netflix?
I get that, but I feel like 20, 30 years ago, people would have said, what's going to replace cable, right?
I know. But no one could have fathomed this, and I can't, except for the people who fucking made it, obviously.
Well, it's interesting. It goes to show how smart he is about this stuff. Ben Affleck, they were talking to him. I think it was an interview from either the late 90s or early 2000s. And he kind of conceived of the idea of streaming services at the time, this like ability to have like different sites where you can just go and watch like anything at home without waiting for it to be at a certain time slot every week. So,
all right, thanks, Ben.
Well, he's a very smart film guy. I think Ben, I get it, Batfleck, whatever. I think he gets like a lot of flack, but he's smart and he's a good writer. And I mean, like, yeah, he's Ben Affleck, but he kind of knows what he's talking about. Him and Matt Damon, they know what they're talking about in this industry, and they've been in it a long time, and they understand how it works, and I trust what he says. And anyway, that's basically Hulu and everything going on with that. I think it's interesting and important to talk about this stuff because it's where you and I basically consume all of our entertainment. And I think it has obviously a significant grasp on how that entertainment looks and is crafted and formed. So, when stuff like this happens, it raises eyebrows and you have to say, okay, well, what does this mean for my favorite shows?
So we have some time left. You want to play a game?
Nah. All right, guys. So thanks for listening. Make sure to follow us on.
All right. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, we're gonna rip a draft real quick. So last minute, we were like, what do we want to do? And because this is kind of like a chill, slower episode, we're gonna do a draft. We're each gonna draft 5 actors under 30. So either up-and-coming actors or established actors that have really good filmographies, or actors we just love seeing on our screen, people that we think are good actors, whatever. Actors under 30, we're each drafting 5. I want to tell you right now, the reason I did this, I wanted to do this one, is because we've been talking about Julia Garner a lot recently. I just found out 5 seconds ago that she's 31.
Yeah.
So she doesn't even fucking count. I had to take her off my list. So we're going to each draft our 5 actors under 30, and we're not going to count Julia Garner because she's not under 30.
But you know what? If we were doing a list or a draft and it was our top actors under 32, Julia, you would be one of my top picks. I'm just letting you know.
She was my top pick.
So.
And she's not on the list.
All right, so we're basing this like really just like you say most interesting, I guess. Like, I don't know. I also kind of thought of for me, I thought of it as like who is the most interesting when I see them come up, but also like, are they doing the most interesting filmography? Like, the most interesting work. Like, they're also the performances they've given, or how good are their performances?
Who's given good performances? Who's more entertaining? Like just whatever you want to base it off of. Just as these are like. This is your team of actors, like your 5 versus my 5.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm with it.
How do we decide who goes first, Josh?
Oh man, if only there was a way. If only there was a way. If only there was
God, if I feel like there's just something.
If only there was an
patriotic.
If only there was an 8th president of the United States who could help us decide. Oh, wait a minute. We have a special surprise guest in the studio.
Holy shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, put your hands together for the 8th President of the United States, the only one to be Dutch, Martin Van Buren.
Hell yeah, dude. He's our third. He is currency, but he is our third host. So show him some respect, show him some love.
According to American law, he is worth more than us, technically, in terms of a financial value.
Well, I could have told you that.
So, yeah.
It's Martin Van Buren, bro.
Alrighty. He's worth a whole dollar.
You call it, because I'm pretty sure I called last time.
Okay. What always wins on this show? I'm just going to say heads, because Martin Van Buren has a head. Or had. Been dead a long time.
It's probably still there.
It's probably gone. Heads! Hey!
All right.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, make sure, you know what? Comment who has the best team of actors on their side. Who wins the draft? Make sure you comment
I'm so scared, actually. All right, I'm going to take this one first because I, think you might... I don't know who you would take first. All right, I'm going to take her first because I want to have her on my team and not yours, and I'm going to take Florence Pugh.
Damn it, she was on my list.
Yeah, I figured she would be.
All right, I'm starting off easy. I'm taking Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
You got to take Timmy.
I know.
Florence was a good first pull, though.
I know. I was thinking of Timmy. All right, well... do you go again? Or are we going to, snake it? Or...
No, there's only 5, so I think you could just go.
All right. I'm going to take, not Timmy's better half, but Timmy's better half of Tom's better half, if that makes sense. Zendaya.
Damn it, she was on my list, too. We might have, very similar lists.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure we do.
Okay. I am going to do maybe a sleeper pick. I'm going to pick Ayo Edebiri.
Yeah, she was on my list too.
She's fantastic in The Bear, and I loved her in Bottoms. She's fucking great.
Okay. Third, I'm going to go with one of my personal favorites, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Okay.
She is fantastic. Dude, she is so good in Furiosa. Actually, one of my favorite performances. Oh, and Chris Hemsworth, too, dude. He's so good. Anyway, but...
She's also Princess Peach.
She is Princess Peach. Peaches. I got it. And she was in Dune 2, but she's going to play a more prominent role in Dune 3 as Timmy's sister. So we're kind of just drafting... Actually, every single person... I just want to shout out that all of the people drafted so far are in Dune, I think.
Ayo Edebiri.
Except Ayo Edebiri, yeah. Except Ayo Edebiri.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, though.
I'm going Tom Holland. You just mentioned him. I'm going Tom Holland. Got to take Spider-Man. He's 29. He almost didn't make the cut, but I'm taking Spider-Man.
If the Odyssey could sneak in, then maybe he'd be on my list, but I don't think he's as good of an actor so far as some of these others.
He's not the best actor, but he's so fucking entertaining. He's so funny. I love watching him on my screen.
I am going to make my next pick. This is my 4th pick?
Yeah. Got 2 more each.
I'm going to make a pick that people are probably going to get mad about.
Okay.
But I am going to take Rachel Zegler.
Fuck, dude. She's on my list, too.
I want to say something about this pick.
Okay.
She is so goddamn talented. I think
she's amazing.
She needs a better agent. Obviously, West Side Story, she is phenomenal. Truly, what a debut for her. In a Spielberg film, no less, The Pressure, I can imagine playing such an iconic role as Maria in West Side Story and Spielberg. So there's that. But yeah, then she's in Shazam 2, not great.
Yeah, she's in The Hunger Games.
Well, that was fantastic. That was a good movie, and she was good in it. The Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. I forgot about that. Then she's in,
that was great.
Then she's in Snow White, Which, like, you know, I know, like, that's had, like, mixed success for her in terms of, like, it made money and it's doing well streaming-wise, I heard. Because I follow her on Instagram, on social media, and everything because, you know, obviously, like, she's from, you know, a similar area that I'm from.
Right.
But, like... I just think she's so talented, and she's like does all this great stuff on Broadway. She's been starring in Evita over at the West End in London right now. It seems like she's killing it. So like I just think that she can honestly be like one of the defining actors of our generation if she got maybe a little bit of a better agent.
For my fourth pick, I don't know if you had her on your list, but I gotta go Hailee Steinfeld.
I was considering her, yeah.
She is in Sinners. She's Kate Bishop in Hawkeye, which she's great at. She's Spider-Gwen in the Across the Spider-Verse in the Spider-Verse series. She's fucking fantastic, dude.
Oh, I'm so torn between my last one. I think I know I'm gonna pick, but I'm still gonna shout out the sixth one afterwards, just as a shout out.
I had 3 extras and you took all of them, so I had to last minute find someone else, and I hope you don't fucking take them.
I don't think I'm gonna take this one from you. I would be surprised if you had this one on your list.
Okay.
I'm going to say Lily Rose Depp.
Okay.
She hasn't been in a ton. I know she was in that show, The Idol. I didn't see it. I'm sure it was as terrible as people said it was. But
I've never seen her in anything.
She was in Nosferatu, and that was one of my favorite performances. It was so incredible. I want to see what she's going to do in more Robert Eggers movies. I think she's supposed to be in that werewolf movie's making or something he has coming out soon. I know she was announced. And I got to see more of her because I think there's a lot there. I mean, hell, Johnny Depp is talented. It's, you know, like father, like daughter. I think she has a real future. Underrated.
Right. I've never seen her in anything.
Well, again, Nosferatu's not really your kind of movie, obviously, but she is doing some really insane work in that movie.
I think for my last pick, I'm not her biggest fan. I don't really know much about her or anything like this, but I'm just going for pure star power because I don't know anybody else to pick because you stole my fucking people. I'm gonna go Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, I like Jenna Ortega.
Household name.
She is a household name.
Like, she's very popular. I think I'm going to take her because people love her. So for my team, we have Timothée Chalamet, Tom Holland, Hailee Steinfeld, Io Adebari, Jenna Ortega.
My team, it's Florence Pugh, Zendaya, Anya Taylor-Joy, Rachel Zegler, and Lily Rose Depp. You know, people are probably going to pick your team, but I genuinely fucking love this lineup.
Wait, do you have a single dude on your team?
Nope. One of the only ones I had down was Timothée Chalamet, and you took him. Who did you have written down that didn't make it the list? Anybody? It was another woman actually. Kaylee Spaney.
She was. I had her. I also had not Dakota Johnson.
Elle Fanning.
Daisy Edgar Jones.
I had Elle Fanning up there too. I think Elle Fanning.
Daisy Edgar
really
Jones,
good.
and then you took Zendaya, Florence Pugh, and Rachel Zegler from.
I mean, another like guy like Paul Mescal is under 30. He's really good, but I think some of these other, like, you know, and they happen to all be, women, but you know, hell yeah, like
all very talented,
like pop off queens. What I don't know, like. I don't know.
You're for the girls.
Yeah, let's go. Like you know, it's a great generation for women actors.
Yeah, so that was our younger generation draft. I think we're gonna end this episode off with Seesaw. I don't know what we should end the episode off with. I think it's gonna be Seesaw.
Well, what do you mean you don't know what we should end it off with?
Because like we usually do something different every episode.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
What do we do that's not Seesaw?
I don't fucking know.
What are you even talking about? What are you
just making shit up?
Jack's just stalling for time.
This is the wrong universe.
All right, Jack, we're short. Why don't you go out there and riff for like an hour real quick on the podcast?
Yeah, I can.
All right,
I'll start singing.
I don't think our friends are quite home from work yet, so.
I think you started Seesaw last time, so you mind if I go first?
Well, I mean, I started the draft, so you might as well anyway.
All right, why don't you suck me?
What do you think I'm doing underneath? Everyone thinks we're in different rooms. This is like an optical.
You're just under my desk.
No, these are the same room, just opposite sides right now. We're of a table where we're just jerking each other. Like I'm telling you,
with our feet.
It's just an optical illusion what you see on the screen.
This whole podcast is an excuse for foot jobs. That's it.
I don't even know how to continue the bit.
No hands. No hands.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I have actually two C's. No, I have two saws. Okay. So first, I saw The Bear. I'm about done with season 2. I just wanted to quickly say that I haven't said anything bad about the show besides the fact that the first 3 episodes have not drawn me in, and it really was hard for me to get into it. I skipped the first 3 episodes upon restarting it. Episode 4 fucking hooked me. Episode 4 was the hot dog episode. I thought it was great. Carmy and Richie go to the hot dog, their cousin's house or whatever with the hot dogs. Thought it was great. I'm on season 2, almost done with it already. Fucking phenomenal show. I love it. I watched Fishes. I watched Forks. Peak, dude. Fucking peak. Something else I saw was a movie, a really old DreamWorks movie, 2003, called Sinbad, The Legend of the Seven Seas. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No.
This is a childhood movie for me. It's like a car movie, and I watched it with my girlfriend, and it's like it gives me like Princess and the Frog, like 2D animation. I miss 2D animation, man. I'm kind of sick of 3D animation these days.
That's fair. I do miss 2D animation.
I really do miss 2D animation. And then something I want to see, speaking of Sinbad, because it's about a pirate, and he's, there's lost treasure, and there's like a goddess and stuff like that. I think I want to see Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and 5. I've seen the first 3 a million times. I've never seen the 4th one and the 5th one out of spite, out of stubbornness that I hear that they're bad. They shouldn't have been made. Will and, whatever the fuck her name is, Will and Elizabeth Swann don't come back for the 4th one. I think they're in the 5th one slightly, but still, it's like out of I cannot watch this out of respect for them. I think I'm going to watch it. I watched the pirate movie Sinbad, and it got me into a piratey mood.
I remember I was texting you, and I was like, Jack, you got to watch Weapons, man, so we could talk about it on the podcast. And you're like, I know, man, I can't wait. I don't have time this weekend. And then later that night, I pop up on Letterboxd and it says you fucking watch Sinbad. I was like, this motherfucker said he didn't have time to watch Weapon. What are you? All right, Weapons isn't that long. It's only half an hour longer than that. How far is the movies from your house?
It's but it's like 15 minutes, but
oh my
then you're
God,
there.
cry me
then
a
there's
river.
half an hour of advertisements.
Yeah, well, you don't go until the half hour. You don't. That's the whole thing. You don't even go until it's time. Like they tell you.
Well, I didn't have time because my plan was I was gonna hang out with my girlfriend.
Yeah, she could go watch Weapons.
She saw it already.
Well, so I don't know. Then she saw it. Then go with her to see it.
Sinbad's good,
dog. I actually was a little tight because I was like, we have a film podcast. We could talk about Weapons and bro watch Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas.
It is fucking gas.
I was just like, okay. It just made me laugh.
Whatever.
It made me laugh. It did. It got a chuckle out of me. I was like,
good.
that is busy, I guess.
You should go watch it.
No, I'm gonna watch Weapons again because it's a fire movie.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I'm going to start with something I want to see already because I already said it and I don't have anything else down for this week. Wednesday, season 2. I really liked the first season, and I saw the trailer, and I really liked the direction they're going with this, moving away from some of the romantic elements from season 1. That doesn't really fit the character of Wednesday Addams. Doesn't fit the Addams family as a whole. I've always been a fan of the Addams family, show and the characters. When I was in high school, I was in the musical. So I'm really into this world and this lore. And the first season was pretty good, and I think it's a good show for Netflix. I haven't gotten a chance to start it yet. But I hope to, because speaking of upcoming actors, you mentioned Jenna Ortega. She's in it. Mm-hmm. And, I love that she is kind of this generation's version of that kind of gothic kind of actor and the projects that she takes, I guess the way I'm trying to word it. I don't really know how to word that, but anyway, so that's something I want to see coming up soon. And something that I saw recently that I started was the show Arcane on Netflix. Arcane League of Legends. I've seen 4 or 5 episodes, maybe 6 episodes of the first season so far. And here's what I got to say. It is really good. It's a good show. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it doesn't have some of the most badass visuals with its animation and some really compelling voice acting. and just obviously a really, you know, dark story. My problem so far is that I'm really struggling to connect with this world. Like, I just haven't, like, it's such a obviously fantasy based kind of franchise, and I do usually like that stuff, but I'm just really having trouble connecting to like the like the lore and just like everything going on. And I get.
Did you ever play League of Legends?
No. I mean,
I played it a couple times. I was terrible at it. I hate it, but that's a game that people are like obsessed with. Like,
yeah,
people are into that.
I can see why people really like this show, and I'm gonna at least stick it out for the rest of the season. Whether or not season 2, we'll see, but I am going to finish season 1. I try to at least commit to a full season, unless it's like garbage. And it's not. It's a good show.
Or like 100 episodes.
Yeah, well, fucking One Piece. I don't care. You're never going to see me talk about One Piece on this podcast because
My friend tried to get me to watch that. I was like, how long is it? He's like, oh, it's like 1,000 episodes. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's... I have to draw the line somewhere. I have to do something other than watch movies and TV sometimes, guys. But yeah, so I mean, like, I like it in terms of like it's nice to sit back and, you know, maybe get a little high and like just see the colors and the visuals. And it is like obviously a really like interesting story around these two sisters, but it's the world itself. I'm really struggling to kind of connect with the world.
Well, that is our episode for today.
Yes, it is.
Thank you guys, everyone, for watching. Thank you, gang. Make sure you follow us on all social medias at Box Office Dynasty, at TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, whatever the fuck we're on. We're on your fucking mom's iPad. We're on, you know, your grandma's computer. We're on everything. And comment box office or fucking Bible study numbers. You know, comment who had the better draft. Just make sure you comment, make sure you like, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe.
And just one last reminder, definitely check out Colored by Chris. The shirt here looks like this. It's the profits go to Spectrum 360. You can find it on Instagram at Colored by Chris G. But we're obviously going to put, like we said before, the links in all of the, you know, descriptions of this episode everywhere that you get it.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna go cruising.
Yeah, you fucking nerd.
Peace.
Bye.